So the last video I made, I wanted to show people what the good supplies is. So I'm back in the art store again, but this time I'm going to take all the supplies that I said don't buy, and I'm going to buy those, and I'm going to try to figure out what I can make with those. Because I was thinking about it, and some of you guys are just broke. Some of you guys getting a $20 bill is probably like hitting the lottery. So we're just going to pretend if you have $20 to your name, maybe less, what could you get and what can you design with that? So I'm going to take my skills and ability and try to figure out what I can even make off a $20 budget when I want to make some watercolor tattoo flash. First ones I'm looking at, these Dynasty brushes. I went to the dude right at the desk and he told me that these are probably like on the cheapest. So I'm going to get one of these bigger brushes. $6. Oh, number 6. So check it out. The thing about this, even though I'm trying to stay under $15, I'm still going to go with this brush just because this brush is so important for what I'm doing. So as you can see right there, $4.40. So it's a bigger part of the budget, but I'm going to go with it anyway. So Dynasty brushes, round number 6. But if I wasn't a bind, I could go with this number 4, but I'm not going to go with the number 4, even though it's like $1 less. I'm kind of used to using a bigger one. So Dynasty brushes, number 6 or number 4, if you're trying to stay under the $15 budget. I'm going to be looking at this water cup that I saw the other day. So these things right here, 79 cents. So I'm just going to end up getting one of these because I'm trying to be on that under $15 budget. So luckily, what I'm going to be using for everything else is just going to come with the palette that I'm going to find. So this one right here, that's what we're going with. Next one that I'm going to be suggesting for under $15 budget, I'm going to suggest this $385 palette. The other day I was making fun of this palette, but if you don't have the money to afford any of the good watercolors, let's figure out what Jack Rickinson paints can do. So these are made in, I don't even know. They don't even say made. They say manufactured. So I'm going to just say off the rip, these is probably no bueno. But check it out. These little dudes come with this little brush instantly. So I bet you I can save some money using this little brush. And then we got every color that we're actually going to need for this design that we're going to make. So even though I made fun of these the other day, even though there's all these other colors, other watercolors, I'm going to stick with this one. I'm sticking with the cheap one today. All right. The other day I was making fun of this brand. I said never, ever, ever buy this brand fluid. Never. But since I'm trying to stay under budget, I'm actually going to grab this fluid 4x6 watercolor paper. We're going to see what this does. Since I'm trying to stick under like $15, this paper, we're going to just try really baby it and see what's the best result you can get out of it. So the fluid paper, it's going to be $6.99. So that's going to be like almost half the budget, but need something to make paper with. And since this is the cheapest option I've got for a watercolor design, this is what's going to have to be used. All right, so this is going to be the easiest buy. So yesterday I suggested it. Today we're still going with it. Going with the Sharpie Black Fine Tip 1. This right here, the price is only $1.67. So this easily fits my budget, and this is what I'd be buying anytime regardless. So we're going to take this, add it to our list of items. All right, now we're going to go real basic. We're going to get one of these 45-cent pencils, even though there's better options and pencils are pretty cheap. We're going to go with this one just because this brand comes with an eraser on the top. Probably not the best, but we're trying to stay cheap. But since this one doesn't come sharpened already, I'm going to grab one of these $1.20 sharpeners. So these two items going on our list. Then from there, we got a better eraser. These erasers right here, the Prismacolor, this one's only $1.15. So we're going to add all 3 of these to our items. I just have all my stuff that I have now. So I've got my $3.85 palette. I made fun of this the other day. I said never buy this. Then I realized that some of you guys are going to have the saddest Christmas because some of you guys are poor, and it's okay. I'm poor too because I make art. So I got my rubber eraser, super great. I got my sharpener. This is going to be pretty generic as long as it's got a blade and a screw on tight. This is going to be pretty good. I had to get that because I ended up going with the school yellow pencil. So this is 2B. So if I ended up going with one of the like regular pencils, this is like semi-soft, but it's good for just drawing in general. A lot of the budget's going to this brush right here, number 6. Most of the budget is going to the paint set. The brush, this brush is actually going to be worth more than the paint set. But look, the paint set, I get this little tiny one that goes with it. So I'm kind of getting 2 brushes. So I'm secretly just buying this for this little thing. And I have no clue what to expect from these. Then I said, don't ever buy fluid. I said that. And then I realized that fluid's probably the cheapest, most affordable brand for a lot of people. So we've got the 4x6 fluid paper. We're going to see what can be done. I'm going to try my best to tackle this tougher medium. And then the reliable Sharpie. This was super affordable. I'd be getting this regardless. And then the super cheap 79-cent water cup. But if someone did the math and they're like, that's going to be more than 15, and I know you're going to get taxed, I got that 30% discount because it's Christmas Eve and it is before 2 p.m. and I'm having a happy holiday. Happy, hoppy, whatever if I stuttered. So I'm going to go get all this rung up, and I secretly already did. So I already know that this comes just about to $15. So I ended up finding that the watercolor paper was pretty easy to use the Sharpie on, and so was this cheap pencil. Cheap pencil was actually not bad. So when it comes to applying the pencil and Sharpie, I'm actually going to give it a really high score. It was actually very easy to use. Both, you can see that it didn't bleed, and it looks really great, really crisp right now. So now we're going to see how it fares when it comes to coloring with these cheaper paints. Here's my thoughts on just using the brush so far, and ignore all my extra wiring and stuff. So here's the good, right? This initial coat of water, yeah, I can spread. And like this baby brush that I use, I just dip just like the smallest amount of, the water. But this is the hard part. So when I dip into my like coat right there, this smearing of it is semi-difficult. So, and like I'm experienced at this, but it's very easy to just like not actually properly bend it. And I don't think that the watercolor actually sticks as good. But surprisingly, I'm going to say this is more of a paper issue than a watercolor issue, because this watercolor really isn't as bad as I would have thought it was. So until I get to the red, I really won't know. But right now I'm going to rate this watercolor in the realm of using for tattoo flash. Probably like a 6 out of 10. I want to see where it keeps going. We're gonna look up close at the black. Surprisingly, the black, if handled properly, can look just as professional. I mean, there's flaws, but it goes in pretty solid. Here's the flaws. See that blending? That blending is pretty rough, and I'm really curious how to see it's going to take color. So as you can see, we've just got like a little dip of it used, but it hasn't been bad. The consistency of the water that's coming out is weird because these blotches happen, and usually that never happens. Usually it just blends. So these have to be made of some type of just like dry substance, obviously, but that like clumps together. All right, so let's see what happens when color is added. These paints suck. Check it out. So we've got major caking. You cannot get these things even with the color at all. I was optimistic when it came to the black. This part's still wet, so it looks okay, but it's already gelling up in a weird way. So you've got major caking. You've got major color inconsistency. You've got opaqueness to all these colors. So overall, not bad, but what would I rate these colors? And I didn't do anything like even mixing color or anything, which I don't even think these colors could handle. So this paint palette right here, although it looks nice, it seems cool looking, I did mix that white with the blue a little. You know what? I wouldn't recommend these to anyone other than like a kid with supervision, because like supervision of a parent, just because what are you supposed to do with this? You know, it's got a little tiny brush, it's nice for appearances. Crayons would be, I feel like I could do the same thing with crayons with how these worked. I'm gonna rate these honestly a 1 out of 10 when it comes to the colors. The black I'm gonna rate a 4 out of 10 because the black spread better than I anticipated. Mixed with the fluid paper, I actually don't think that it would become better. This is a sheet that I've done with the acrylic ink, and as you can see, it's smooth, real absorbent. You're not having like any type of like weirdness happening, right? Same artist, you know. Wow. So this overall $15 setup, I wouldn't suggest anybody who's serious about getting into tattooing, anyone who is tattooing, I wouldn't suggest this for any artist outside of the Sharpie, the water cup, the fluid paper. If you just want to use it as a marker, like use it as a Sharpie paper, I actually would suggest that because it actually was great for that. So if you want something to use Sharpies on, maybe some dot work, I'd suggest. If you're wanting something greater, do not do it. And just even in this time, some of it's caked up and dried more, just really inconsistent. Well, I hope that was fun for everybody. And I don't know, I used to say toodles from Bloomington. So, toodles from Bloomington. And message, it's okay to be sad, because it is.